Radioactive Spider-Man, Spider-Man, radioactive. Everybody remembers Spider-Man, the animated series. And in Spider-Man, the animated series, if you've seen that, there was this group called the Sinister Six.
Everybody but me.
Everybody except Stacy. In the Sinister Six, it was Dr. Octopus. There was a man named the Chameleon. There was the Vulture. There was Rhino. There was some other character. And then there was Sergei. And yes, I said Sergei. I'm talking about Kraven.
What's going on, everybody? This is your boy King Germ, one half of Pod and Saved Our Marriage. Each and every Friday, Queen Germ and myself drop an episode to show the people how Pod and Saved Our Marriage. Now, we're not like most married couples. Most of the time we disagree, but that's the beauty of the show. So, when you get through listening to Sparrows Under review, come give us a listen. Each and every Friday on any DSP, go look for Pod and Saved Our Marriage.
Welcome to Sparrows Under review. My name is Stacy.
And I'm JR.
Really?
I don't know where that came from.
I need you to put it back in the box, tie it up in a bow, and not open it up on Christmas.
Damn. My voice did do some extra, like, scratchy, scrickly stuff. So we're here to talk about 2024's Kraven the Hunter from the Spider-Verse, which is from Sony in association with Marvel.
Yes. So, quick overview. This movie has only been out for a couple days. Of course, we had to go see it on release day. Not release day, but release weekend. Overall thoughts of the film? I enjoyed it. I was surprised that I enjoyed it as much as I did.
And I can see that. One thing I do want to say is Sony's Spider-Man universe is becoming immersed in characters that are going to start to make sense to everyone about things.
Okay.
One thing I do want to say that's a deterrent to this movie: when the movie's over, just leave. Straight up, just leave.
Well, see, let's take that back a second. So, notoriously, most Marvel movies have a small scene at the end of the credits. Well, as far as we know, there was not one at the end of this. But we didn't stick around because, we hit that Google button and Google said that there was nothing at the end of the credits. So if you choose to stay for the entire thing and get disappointed that there's nothing there, we warned you. If you stay for the entire thing and Google was wrong, please let us know so that way we can look at the end credits on YouTube or something.
Yeah, definitely need that. So, anyone that's not immersed in the Spider-Man universe, which I keep going back to Alien Romulus as a reference, this movie is an easy movie to get into.
Well, I think that you go back to that one because it's most recently stuck in your head, and that's the most relevant. I don't even want to say it's the most relevant movie, but it's, like I said, it's the most recent one that you've watched that is part of something that you don't have to watch everything else in order for it to make sense. Correct.
And Kraven is its own story. And
it is.
And it's not like Morbius, so please, people, don't do that. And it's not like The Flash either. This is actually a good movie. It gives you a great story arc, and it has my favorite man from the pandemic in it.
Yes.
Russell Crowe. He leaves his home and everything he's done in Unhinged to be a father to Sergei and his brother.
All right. And let's just say it, hands down, I have not seen a Russell Crowe movie in the last, 6 years that has disappointed me.
So true. So true. Now.
So as soon as I found out he was in that movie, I was excited.
Right. And he does a great Russian voice. Like his accent was on point.
Yes.
For him to be from Australia, New Zealand.
For us anyways, it might be a bad Russian accent to the real Russians. So
right, that shit might be racist.
Please don't come for us. Like it sounds pretty good to us.
Yeah, it works for me on so many levels. So here we go. They give you a story.
Mm-hmm.
Now the story for this has some comic book iterations.
Okay.
But always remember, when I say the Sony Spider-Man universe, this is something that has been crafted by writers. And the way that they make this story for Sergei, you don't feel bad for him. Do you feel bad for him?
I did feel bad for him.
He should have never put the gun down.
No. So I feel bad for him in a different sense. I feel bad for him because his father took his mother away. And I feel like we're missing the story about his mother. And I hope that we get that in the next Kraven movie.
Okay, but...
and that's where I feel bad for him.
But Sergei's father made a statement that's very strong. That's about the mother and the other brother. They were weak.
Yeah, but I feel like what I got from that is he made her weak. Like, as a husband, you should build up your partner. You should never tear them down. You should never doubt them. If they're going through a rough patch, you need to build them up. If she was having any type of weakness, he should have done everything that he could have to build her up and make sure that she was mentally stable.
True.
And that was not sending her off somewhere away from her sons. He should have taken better care of her. As much money as he had the money, he had the means, he had the authority, he had the power to make sure she came out fine.
Maybe my man was just lazy.
I feel like he destroyed her.
I could see that.
So, yes, it made me feel bad for him. For Sergei.
Okay. I could feel bad for Sergei just for no seconds.
I mean, you're a man, so.
So Sergei is a brute, though. He is vicious in these streets. He has a origin story. In the origin story, it gives us some characters. It gives us one named Calypso that we know nothing about.
Right.
That's one sour point of this movie. The whole time Calypso's in there, I don't know who the fuck she is. I mean, I understand they tell you.
But it leaves it open for her story.
Right.
So we know that Marvel loves to do that. They'll introduce you to a character. And this is coming from a point of not a comic book person, but a movie person. Because I don't read comic books. I don't look at comic books. I don't read the pictures or look at the pictures and try to figure it out. I don't do that stuff. I watch the movies. And that's what I feel like I get from the Marvel movies is they introduce you to a character, give you just enough, excuse me, they give you just enough information and enough pull to make you want something from them later on. So I feel like it's a great opportunity to create a movie about her and her family and her legacy.
Okay, I can run with that.
I was not completely disappointed. I am curious of her
Right,
grandmother,
but the thing is that her story was so interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I need a side movie. I need something, or just like make me a 30-minute or an hour. Okay, nah, she could need her own story. Fuck,
yeah,
she needed her own story
because you got to tie grandma in there.
Right. Now, going through this movie, it's a rough patch. He becomes a mercenary for hire, but he's not a mercenary for hire. He's a mercenary with a book.
Yeah.
Don't want to tear too much of the movie up because I want you all to definitely go see it.
Yes,
Please go see it.
Yes.
And the reason that I'm encouraging this, and this is on a side note, is that cinema is dying.
It is.
If your cinema, in my new experiences, is not one of these totally fully decked out, base enthusiastic.
Let's just throw it out there. If it's not Cinemark, Regal,
or AMC,
you need to go to it.
Yeah,
support your local businesses. Support your small people.
Epic's a big
or
one.
even because we're having to go to personal theater or not theaters, personal movie people like Sometimes Cinema. You can hit wvuncommonplace@gmail.com if you would like some information about Sometimes Cinema.
Right, definitely willing to set up any type of arrangement we can make for you, make your cinematic experience enjoyable.
Especially if you want to show the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
we will provide the projector. You just have to provide all the login information.
Yeah.
And like I said, you can send an email to wvuncommonplace@gmail.com and he will get back to you as soon as possible about that.
Yes. So going further into this, this movie was seen at a state-of-the-art theater. Mm-hmm. And I'm talking about, it was so bass enthusiastic that you heard the sounds. Them bitches made the chair rumble, the recliners and everything, which,
so this was a Cinemark X, what was it, XD?
Yeah, XD. These motherfuckers, man, they had Pizza Hut in the joint with the best Pizza Hut I've had for a personal pizza, because I don't even think it was really... I felt
it was a little too saucy.
Yeah.
I mean, it had good flavor, but it's not that Spencer Pizza Hut.
Right, it ain't that Spencer, West Virginia Pizza Hut. Shout out to Rome County.
Yes.
and almost for winning the big deal. Y'all almost got there, and I just want to shout out to y'all.
Yes.
Now, going forward with this movie is intense. It like the movies this weekend's movies that have come out have been violent.
Right. I mean, you've picked 3 good ones in a row. Like, you're on a winning streak right now.
Right. So
even though the first one was for me, but the other 2 were really good.
Right, so going with this one, like, let me just get into it. Like, this joint is violent. It's not violent like Deadpool, because Deadpool was violent. But, oh boy, be out here with the knives. He don't use no guns. That's one thing I did notice. He never used a gun. He was out there with them knives, and he split right through a dude's head like he was chopping a piece of wood.
Yep.
And anyway, he goes through this stuff, and he has a personal inner struggle that leads to a part of the story that we don't even think about.
Yep.
And not to take that away, because dang, I did the whole movie that quick, didn't I? Really?
Right. And I mean, let's just be straightforward. You have your main character. He dies, basically. Let's just say he dies. Comes back to life in the way that he does with the assistance of Calypso. Life goes on. He takes care of some bad guys. He plays the good guy. He comes back to see his brother. Bad shit happens. The movie goes on. He fucks shit up. And then it's over.
And then it's over.
Like, that is the sum of the movie. But that doesn't ruin it, because there is so much in between. There are so many details, so many surprises and twists and turns. And it makes you think, oh shit, is that really going to happen? Like, is this how it's going to end? And it doesn't.
Right. And this movie sets up for a major storyline, the Sinister Six. And I pulled the Sinister Six out because if you listen to the very beginning of this episode, I named members of the Sinister Six. And you keep hearing the name Doctor.
Yeah.
And there's only 2 doctors in the Spider-Man series I can think of. Dr. Otto Octavius, which he is the one that started the Sinister Six in the comic books.
Okay.
Or it's another doctor. And I don't know who that is. And the only other person that I could think of that would be involved in some of the things with this, like,
and it's not Doctor Who.
Right, it's not Doctor Who, is Norman Osborn. Norman Osborn is known to you all as the Green Goblin. Some of you know him as William Dafoe from the previous movies. Or his son, which is the Hobgoblin, which you would know him as, oh God, he's from Pineapple Express. What's the dude's name? He's not Seth Rogen, but he hangs out with Seth Rogen. He's a skinny guy that hangs out with Seth Rogen. But anyway, I'm sorry, I'm lost on his name.
Anyways, it doesn't matter. Skip that topic.
But hold on. But the point is that this movie, if you pay attention to it, they drop hints of Spider-Man characters.
They do. Because you mentioned it. Again, this is another one where you're like, if they mention these characters, then you know they're trying to tie it a little bit to Spider-Man.
Right.
Like, you didn't straight up say that it's going to be related to Spider-Man or that they're going to combine them or whatever, but it kind of ties them, like the invisible web.
Right. And then the other thing that they did was they located New York City in this. New York City was the place that the boys went to school, the two brothers.
Yes.
So that when they did that, I was like, whoa.
And that's where Calypso was from.
Right.
Or went to school, one or the other.
Right. She went to school there, but they met in Africa on the safari.
The first time, yes.
Yeah, but they were back in New York City, blah, blah, blah,
right.
blah, blah. So that tie in there, we all know who's from New York City, Peter Parker. And we know that Venom almost got him in New York City and then got sent to San Francisco.
Well, Venom was on his way to New York City at the end of that one movie, wasn't he?
Right, Spider-Man 2.
Venom 2. The last Venom movie.
Yeah, he was on his way back to New York City. Mm-hmm. So you see there's all kinds of tie-ins there. So Sony, shout out for that.
Right.
And we will not say anything disrespectful about Madam Web. I've never finished the movie, so I can't tell you anything about it. All I know is we started the shit and we never finished it.
Yet you have to bring it up every time.
Hey, it was a disaster, like Morbius.
Don't talk about it. If you don't want to talk about it, don't bring it up. Why do we have to have this conversation every time you talk about it?
Sometimes there's trauma, and that trauma leads, to drama.
Please don't do that.
And that drama is Madam Web and Morbius.
Anyways, so back to this movie at hand.
I'm back. Sorry about that. I have a mute button so I can mute myself so I can laugh my sarcastic laugh. That was like, ha, 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 ha.
Anyways, where were we at? I don't even know where we're at on this.
Well, we were getting towards the end. I was about to do my rating.
Oh, okay. So me first. Pick me. Definitely going to be on my list of movies to take to my dad. I think that he's going to enjoy it. I also think that it's going to be a movie that quite a few people in my family are going to enjoy. I will watch it again probably. It's not on a rotation or anything like that yet. But I think I'll watch it again. I'll probably rewatch it whenever I take it to my dad and have him watch it.
I could see that. I could see y'all doing that. But my thing is this movie has helped me get over my phobia of Marvel movies. Like it's going to make me actually go watch the trailer for the new Captain America. May not watch the movie, but I did see Red Hulk in that shit. So yeah, I'm gonna watch it.
Okay.
I fuck with the Red Hulk, and Harrison Ford's in that joint. So overall, as part of the sequence of the Spider-Man universe, this will be something that I would watch in sequence with Morbius.
Okay.
Because it ties into those characters that are off to the side, what I call the sub characters. And it makes sense to me to watch it just like it would make sense for you to watch Madam Web because they're all spinoffs, but it's Sony's take on it with Marvel having very, very limited involvement. Because notice this shit says in association with Marvel. It doesn't say Marvel Films.
Right.
So,
they've been working on this since like 2022.
Yeah, it should have been delayed at least twice, I thought.
Yeah, something like that. Dang. Sony confirmed that a film featuring Kraven was in development in March of 2019.
Right, but it should have been talked about as soon as like 2027. I mean 2017.
2027 hasn't happened yet.
I'm talking about 2017.
It says that the guy was hired to write the screenplay in August of 2018. I mean, there's all kinds of different dates, but those were the important dates that stuck out to me. So no need to add your extraness.
Wow, and that's crazy. This movie was actually canceled in favor of The Amazing Spider-Man.
Dang. Yeah, so this is another one of those ones. It was previously scheduled for January 2023, October 2023, and August of 2024. And they didn't release it until December of 2024.
And it seems like they put it to the side. They put it to the side because they another thing that's funny is the MCU or the Marvel Cinematic Universe wanted to use this character in Black Panther.
Oh.
Which they do have ties.
Right. I think it's crazy that the rating is so low. Did you see that? Like they gave them a 3.8 out of 10, a C on an A+ to an F scale. Like I disagree with that. So this is another one of those things where, you have to form your own opinion on it. You can't always go off of these critics because, their taste might differ than yours because obviously they differed from mine. And I think their opinion is shit.
So overall, I want to say as a comeback to movies to finish out this year, and this is a shot at you again, Tasker, and you're a partner. This was a good movie to go see. There's been 4 movies that I've already said that have been good to see. Y'all told me there weren't going to be any movies. And I only do this because you guys are we're former West Virginians. But y'all are our West Virginia counterparts in the film business. And I just wanted y'all...
I mean, maybe there was more to it than that. And that, I don't disagree with them because... their main focus was to do movies that were already available for anybody. Like their main focus was somebody could listen to their episode and pull it up on a streaming service or go buy the movie to watch and compare the notes to. Theirs wasn't, excuse me. Their focus wasn't on going to a movie theater to watch a movie and encourage other people to go to a movie theater. They were encouraging people to watch the stuff that has already been released to have that discussion with. So I can kind of understand where they said that there's not a whole lot going on right now.
And I only believe they said that because of the strike, and that how all, like you said, like this movie is a good example of something that's been delayed that was in principle. So,
and so was the last one we just talked about.
So I'll give y'all some leeway, but this movie goes into my catalog of movies. It's not going to make or break, and it's not going to get into 200 movies or whatever. But in my animated film series, my top 100 for animated movies, this movie moves into the place of number 100.
But it's not an animation movie.
I meant Marvel superheroes movie, not animation.
I call
my
you
bad, y'all, on that one. It moves into number 100 on my movie place because this movie is a step above the two other movies I made previously, or I didn't make, but I said previously. Oh shit! And
anyways, on that note, we want to take the time right now to thank you for hanging in on all this craziness. Make sure you head on over to Instagram and give us a follow. We are Sparrows Under Review at gmail.com if you have any questions or suggestions. And then please feel free to like and subscribe to our podcast, and make sure you leave us a little note down at the bottom if you were capable, and let us know if you agree with us. If you don't agree with us, we don't mind if you don't agree with us, as long as you do it in a polite way.
And lastly, please follow us over at Letterboxd, because that's where we do interactive stuff with the movies. We share our reviews, and we take care of the stuff like that over there.
And another reminder, we do now have a Patreon. You can subscribe for a low cost of $5 a month. That is the only tier we are offering right now. So if you don't mind to help us keep the lights on and the electric going, we would appreciate all of your support.
No doubt in that. And one last thing, I forgot. We do have t-shirts over and merchandise over at TeePublic. That's one thing we never mentioned to anybody. We do have Sparrows Under Review merch with more to come from the great designer, Stacy.
I'm Stacy.
And I'm JR.
In the dead of night, when the world sleeps and shadows come alive, two voices rise to take you deep into the dark. Listen to They Mostly Pod at Night. Mostly, your weekly guide to everything horror. From bone-chilling movie reviews to spine-tingling discussions, and the creepiest topics that keep you up at night. Whether it's cult classics, hidden gems, or the latest screams on the big screen, they dissect it all, leaving no tombstone unturned. But beware. Their banter cuts as sharp as a slasher's blade, and their insights will haunt you long after the episode ends. So why do we love horror? What makes a scene unforgettable? And what lurks just beyond the edge of your mind? Tune in and find out, if you dare. Because they mostly pod at night. Mostly. New episodes every week. Subscribe now on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your scares. In the dead of night, when the world sleeps and shadows come alive, two voices rise to take you deep into the dark. Listen to They Mostly Pod at Night. Mostly, your weekly guide to everything horror. From bone-chilling movie reviews to spine-tingling discussions, and the creepiest topics that keep you up at night. Whether it's cult classics, hidden gems, or the latest screams on the big screen, they dissect it all, leaving no tombstone unturned. But beware. Their banter cuts as sharp as a slasher's blade, and their insights will haunt you long after the episode ends.